Hey guys, today we are going to review law of sines, law of cosines, and finding the area of a triangle. So we'll start by finding the smallest angle of this triangle with sides of 10 feet, 8 feet, and 14 feet. The smallest angle has to be across from the smallest side, so it's that angle right there. Okay, so when we are given side, 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 we can use the law of cosines. So we would start with 8 squared, and we're going to end with cosine of this angle, which I call theta, so cosine theta. So 8 squared equals 10 squared plus 14 squared minus 2 times 10 times 14 times cosine theta. Okay, so that's the law of cosines. So to get this angle by itself, we're going to have to subtract these. So I've got 64 minus 100 minus 196. Okay, so or I can just type it in like this: 8 squared minus 10 squared minus 14 squared. So that's negative 232. Okay, then negative 2 times 10 times 14. So 10 times 14 is 140, times negative 2 is negative 280. Okay, so I'm going to need to divide by negative 280. That cancels that out. Then to get rid of that cosine, I'm going to have to do arc cosine. Okay, so that's second cosine. And I can use the negatives or I can cancel them out because there's two negatives. 232 divided by 280. So I get 34.05 degrees. And this is an angle measure, so we should have the unit there of degrees. Okay, next we're given side, side, side on another triangle. This time we are asked to find the area of the triangle. When we're given side, 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 the easiest way to find the area is by using Heron's formula. The first step of that is to find the semi-perimeter, so half the perimeter. Half times 9 plus 7 plus 12. Okay, so 0.5 times 9 plus 7 plus 12. So my half perimeter is 14. Okay, so the area of this triangle is the square root of s, which is 14, times s minus one side. I should put 14, not s, times 14 minus 7, times 14 minus 12. So we've got the square root of 14 times, and 14 minus 9 is 5. 14 minus 7 is 7. And 14 minus 12 is 2. 31.30 is the area. And that is all in feet, so the area is in feet squared. All right, so this triangle, CBF, has side C at 7 inches, side D 10 inches, and angle F 48 degrees. So this time we are given side angle side. In this case, we should use 1/2 AB sine C. So the area is 1/2 times 10 times 7 times the sine of 48 degrees. So we get an area of 26.01, and this one's in inches, so that would be inches squared. Okay, find all missing sides and missing angles. In a case where I'm given two angles, it would be really easy to find this third angle just by subtracting from 180. 180 minus 85 minus 83. Sorry, that should be 23. So I get 72. So this missing angle here was 72 degrees. Okay? Now I have enough information to use the law of sines because I've got one pair of side and angle that are opposite each other, and I can use law of sines to find the missing sides. Law of sines is really handy for finding missing sides. For missing angles, that's when you can get those cases where there's 0, 1, or 2 possible triangles. But for missing sides, law of sines is really handy. So we get 14 over sine 72, and we'll do side B over sine 23. So I need to multiply this sine 23 across. So I get 14 times sine 23 divided by sine 72. 5.75. So I can put 5.75 feet right there, and the only thing still missing is side C. So 14 over sine 72 equals C over sine 85. Okay, so I'll multiply that sine 85 across. So C is 14.66. So 14.66 inches. Okay, so I now have all three sides and all three angles. And that shouldn't have been inches, that should have been feet. I've got every piece of information for that triangle. Okay, so for my next triangle, I don't have anything opposite. I don't have the angle opposite the 8, the angle opposite the 17, or the side opposite the 51. What I have here is side, angle, side. Side, angle, side is another opportunity to use the law of cosines. So side, side, side can give you law of cosines. Side, angle, side can give you law of cosines. So with law of cosines, this is the angle I have, so opposite that is the side that I can find. So I can do a squared equals 8 squared plus 17 squared minus 2 times 8 times 17 times cosine 51. To get a by itself, all I have to do is take the square root. And what I need is the positive square root. So I don't use plus or minus here. So the square root of 8 squared plus 17 squared minus 2 times 8 times 17 times cosine 51. And I get 13.48. So that is the missing side, 13.48 feet. Okay? Now I have some things opposite, so I could use law of sines to try to find angle B or C, but that could give me some wrong answers because law of sines leaves opportunities for 0, 1, or 2 different triangles. So anytime I can use law of cosines to find an angle measure, that's what I want to do. And when I have side, 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 I can use law of cosines, so I'm going to use law of cosines. So let's say we want to find angle C. we would do 8 squared equals 17 squared plus 13.48 squared minus 2 times 17 times 13.48 times cosine C. Okay, so I'm going to subtract both of those. So I've got 8 squared minus 17 squared minus 13.48 squared okay, so I've got negative 406.7104. Okay, so then I'm going to multiply these. I've got negative 2 times 17 times 13.48 okay, so to get C by itself now, I need to divide and do arc cosine. So C is going to be arc cosine negative 406.7104 divided by negative 458.32. So second cosine. And it is negative over negative, so I can make those positive. And I get 27.45 degrees. Okay, now finding the third angle should be nice and easy. I'll subtract those two from 180. So 180 minus 51 minus, and I'm just going to input this answer, so second negative, puts in the last answer. And that leaves me with 101.55 degrees. And I now have all 3 side lengths and all 3 angle measures. All right, for triangle BAD, side B is 11 yards. Side A is 9 yards, and angle A is 31 degrees. Find everything that's missing. Now in this case, I do not have side, side, side. I do not have side, angle, side. So I'm going to be stuck using the law of sines to find this angle measure. Anytime I use law of sines to find an angle measure, I have to compare opposite to adjacent. Okay, in this case, opposite of this 31 degree angle is 9. The adjacent is 11. The opposite is less than the adjacent, which means there are 2 possible solutions. So I'm going to have to draw another triangle for my other solution set. This is why we want to use law of cosines to find angles anytime we possibly can. In this case, we just can't because we don't have side, 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 or side, angle, side. So to find angle B, we're going to do 11 over sine B equals 9 over sine 31. Okay, so when we cross multiply, we're going to get 9 sine B equals 11 sine 31. We're going to divide by 9, and then to get B by itself, we're going to do arc sine. So second sine 11 sine 31 divided by 9. And we get 39.01. Okay, now we're going to use that to find the other possible angle B. So that would be the supplement of this 39.01. So 180 minus, and I'm just going to bring in the last answer, 39.01, 140.99. Okay, we can get angle D over here by subtracting these two from 180. So 180 minus 31 minus 39.01. So 109.99 degrees would be angle D here. Then I can find side D. It's D over sine 109.99 equals, and I'm going to use the exact numbers instead of the 11 and 39.01. Here I'm going to use 9 and 31. 9 over sine 31. So I'm going to multiply this across. 9 times sine 109.99, which is my most recent answer. So I'm just going to bring in that answer. Divided by sine 31. 16.42. So this last side is 16.42. And that's in yards. Okay, so I've got a full set of answers here. Now I need to finish this solution set. So I'm going to do 180 minus these two angles. And I get 8.01. So that's my third angle. So I can do side D as D over sine 8.01 equals 9 over sine 31. I'll multiply that across. 9 times sine of 8.01, which is my most recent answer, divided by sine 31. So 2.43 is my last missing side length, 2.43 yards. All right, a plot of land has these dimensions. What is the approximate square footage of this land? So the first thing I would do is split this into two triangles. If I split this way, I'm going to split that 106-degree angle. I don't want to do that, so I'm going to split this way. Okay, so I can find an area here of triangle 1 and an area of triangle 2 and add those two together. So first, I would do for triangle 1 here, I would do half AB sine C. So for area 1, so we'll call this triangle 1 and triangle 2. For the area of triangle 1, it's half AB sine C. So 145 times 121 sine 106. Okay, so we get an area there of 8,432.67 feet squared. I'm going to underline that. That will be part of my final answer. Okay, in order to find area 2, I don't have an angle measure here. I probably should find this side length right here. And then I'll have side, 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 and I can use Heron's formula. So to find this missing side length, I gotta go back up to triangle 1, and I can use the law of cosines to get the missing side. Okay, so we'll call this C. I can do C squared equals 145 squared plus 121 squared minus 2 times 145 times 121 times cosine 106. To get C by itself, I just need to take the square root. So the square root of this whole side, 145 squared plus 121 squared minus 2 times 145 times 121 times cosine 106. So I get 212.93 for this side right here. Now I can use Heron's formula. Okay, so I have to find this semi-perimeter. So that's half of 196 plus 61 plus 212.93. So I get 234.65, 0.965. Okay, so the area of triangle 2 is the square root of, and I'm just going to write in S, times S minus 61 times S minus 196 times S minus 212.93. S happens to be the most recent answer I have in my calculator. So I'm going to do square root of my most recent answer, which is S, times S minus 61 times S minus 196 times S minus 212.93. So I get 5,924.15. Feet squared. Now I've got this area and this area that need to be added together. Okay, so I'm just taking my most recent answer plus this one. So I get a total area of 14,356.82 feet squared.